and welcome to TIL's News Capsule. All of us know that the historic GST bill is badly stuck in the Rajya Sabha where the NDA government is short of majority. But before we talk about the political aspect of the issue, let's first hear how does the Chief Economic Advisor, Mr. Arvind Subramanian, look at the progress made so far in relation to our preparedness to roll out the GST.
That what India is embarking upon by way of the GST is a truly ambitious effort in the context of large federal systems that try and do the value-added tax. India is really going to combine the best of having uniformity, having common procedures on the one hand, yet retaining a fair degree of autonomy for the states on the other. So it really is going to be one of the cleanest dual VAT systems in any large federal system around the world. And I think that's really going to, that sort of puts in perspective the scale and ambition of what the GST is trying to achieve. Point number two, I think it's easy to forget also that it represents the best of India because the GST has truly been an all-party effort, bipartisan, all governments of all persuasions, many governments, 4 or 5 governments. And I think we should applaud ourselves, not that, that this is creating trouble, but it actually represents the best of India because it is a bipartisan effort transcending political persuasions. So I think all parties deserve credit for where the GST is today on the verge of passage. The other thing I think which is really remarkable about the GST is we speak about cooperative federalism in India, but in my view, the GST represents the best of cooperative federalism in India because the center and the states have come together in what is not an easy process.
Evidently, Mr. Subramanian, who headed the R&R committee, is full of energy and optimism about the rollout of the GST. He sees it as a major game changer and also as the best example of cooperative federalism. Let's now quickly take a look at the political dimension of the issue. The opposition bandwagon led by the Congress party has put up 3 demands which are to be accepted by the government before they extend their support to the bill. Although the government is willing to argue and accept 1 or 2 demands, but it feels frustrated by the regular disruptions of the House proceedings on one odd excuse or the other. Upset by such disruptions, the Union Finance Minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley, today expressed his displeasure over legislative activities being held to ransom and described it as the weakness of the parliamentary democracy. Anyway, let's hear Mr. Jaitley, who seems to be losing hope of the passage of GST bill in the current session, which is going to be over by mid-next week.
You had the standing committee, you had the empowered committee, and now you had the select committee of Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha select committee also with some suggestions cleared it. We accepted those suggestions also. We were then told, not this session, let's make it the next session. In the last session, we were told, well, the mood is not to cooperate this time. We'll do it in the next session. In this session, almost by the day, the mood keeps changing. And therefore, we are at a stage today where you have lip sympathy for the GST, but that sympathy ends with, and the support ends with that. Now, what are these 3 new ideas which have come up? And let me straight away concede that one of them is possibly a fair, arguable point. For 2 years, a 1% additional tax, this was put because the manufacturing states insisted on it. I straight away concede that 2 views on this are possible. No, it's a precondition that 18% cap should be put in the constitution itself. But are tariffs ever provided for in the constitution? Can tariffs ever be cast in stone? Supposing tomorrow there is a drought or a flood in 10 states, and for 1 year you need to raise the taxes. Are you first going to amend the constitution? Knowing fully well that the unfortunate precedents which are being created, if these precedents are acted upon in future, constitutional amendments are going to become increasingly more difficult. And in any case, the understanding with the states is that the rate of taxation, how much the service tax will be, the question was asked, well, the GST Council will decide. After all, when the states are surrendering their rights to the GST Council, the center is surrendering their rights to the GST Council. The GST Council will decide the rates. The states will have a 2/3 representation, the center will have a 1/3 representation. And in any case, that panic which was being created that you will have an extraordinarily high revenue neutral rate, it's been set to rest by the report of the Chief Economic Advisor and his colleagues. And therefore, India now promises to have a very reasonable standard rate, a very reasonable revenue neutral rate. And in any case, there can't be one rate. For commodities which weaker sections, the Aam Aadmi will use, the rate will be lower. For rest of the commodities, it will be the standard rate. For some special products, luxury products, super luxury products, environmentally harmful products, sin products, it won't be 18% or 17%, it probably would be higher. And therefore, it's irrational to say that put a 18% cap in the constitution. The third argument was that a dispute redressal mechanism should be created by the center. Well, why should the states accept that? The states are not going to accept a dispute redressal mechanism created by the center. And after the recommendations of the standing committee, Mr. Chidambaram himself on the file has accepted a very sensible suggestion that all disputes to be resolved in the GST Council, and if the Council can't resolve the dispute, the Council will create a dispute redressal mechanism. They are the ones to decide the rate, they will decide the dispute redressal mechanism. So the issue is eminently resolvable, provided there is an intention to resolve the issue. But if the intention is that India must not be allowed to grow,
Now that the finance minister is talking about some sort of alternative if the GST bill is not passed in the current session, what are the options before the government? TIL Tube spoke to a couple of experts who attended the event organized by all the chambers of commerce and business on the issue of GST in the national capital early morning today. Let's go to the noted indirect tax expert Mr. Prateek Jain for his prima facie reaction.
Finance Minister talked about repeated disruptions in the parliament, and he said that this will be the precedence for the coming government. But he also said that executive powers and money will be the course of the action in future. So what do you think that he is trying to hint? Is he thinking that only CGST will be implemented and not GST?
Good proposition. If the country cannot see a full-fledged GST, why don't we have a central GST in place which does not require a constitutional amendment? And you integrate at least excise and service tax, and from a central government perspective, sort of have one single GST, and then see how the states react. And I think in future we'll have to see whether we also can have a Canada kind of a model where you ask the states to come in as and when they want. I mean, it's going to be complex, but definitely a possibility needs to be explored, because If they don't get a support this time, then I think GST just might not be there for next couple of years, and which is extremely unfortunate. So yes, I think CGST is a good alternative.
Contrary to Mr. Prateek's view, the CBEC former chairman Mr. Sumit Dutt Majumdar does not see much merit in the proposition, like the centre going for central GST by merging central excise and service tax. Let's hear Mr. Majumdar.
I also heard that, and he didn't elaborate it further. So it's very difficult to guess what could be the alternative action. But the only alternative action that I can think of beyond Parliament is ordinance.
Correct.
So I don't know whether he meant that. I have my doubt.
You have written about it that CGST can be brought in and that could be the alternative option.
Yeah, but you see, I had written about it about 1.5 to 2 years back.
Right.
But now, after having so much to bring that CGST, the CGST is basically, you are not achieving much except that you are rationalizing your central excise and services, joining them together.
Right.
So two agencies you are bringing together.
Right.
By bringing in two agencies, also to that extent you are reducing the multiplicity of tax.
Correct.
That means, I won't say multiplicity, two taxes are being getting
As well as central taxes.
and the central taxes. But then the main thing is that you are losing out on the economic, the common economic market. That will not be coming. All the yields of the present day entry taxes, then interstate crossing border, then the CST, which is origin based, and then the credit is not available because of the central excise and service tax, whatever is paid on a manufactured goods. When it comes out of the factory, the state imposes VAT, and that VAT is on a loaded value. That means where the tax is hidden.
Going by Mr. Majumdar's comments and also the fractured optimism exhibited by Mr. Jaitley at certain places in his speech, where he said that if not today, the GST bill is going to be passed tomorrow. It appears that the common wish across the economy is to give the last push to the passage of the GST bill rather than exploring options for an alternative. Even TIL Tube believes that it is too early for the government to talk about an alternative and completely lose hope. If there are weaknesses in our parliamentary system, there are also unparalleled strengths which would sail us through all bad times. Thanking you all for watching TIL Tube.